Good afternoon. Welcome in this week's Inbox 7 interview. Today with us we have a guest from Armenia. Her name's Nancy. Hi, Nancy.
Hi.
Can you present yourself? Tell us where do you come from, what do you study, which organization are you part of?
Of course, thank you very much for inviting us to this very nice interview. I'm Nancy Mkarchan from Armenia. It's typical Armenian surname. I'm a student of third year at French University in Armenia. I'm studying marketing and business. And I'm having my own startup in Armenia. It's been 2 months with my great colleagues and friends. It's about volunteering, and we have started the startup to revolutionize the volunteering system in Armenia. So we are focused and based in Armenia, but we have come here to represent our project and maybe win because it's a city of Mother Teresa, and we have found a lot of very beautiful places and venues, sightseeings, and we're amazed with this city.
So as you said, the main reason you're here in North Macedonia is volunteering. Can you tell us why is volunteering such a big thing in your country?
Yeah, sure. Maybe I will start from my own experience. It's been 5 or 6 years I've dedicated myself to volunteering. Yes, it is, because starting from my college years, it's not been a mandatory thing, but we have been teaching into more non-formal education, the importance of non-formal and informal education more than typical formal education. That's why when we understood the importance of that, we went to a lot of volunteering events, experiences, something like that. And me and my friends have been always participating in kind of events where we could have learned a lot of things, a lot of skills, have an experience. And of course you get a lot of things of that, like starting from certificates to friends, making new community, and making a change, the most important thing. Yeah, every second or third person, without any exaggerations, whenever you're asking a person on the street, they're doing volunteering, like me and my friend. And this is widespread in Armenia. In some cases, they are doing volunteering for getting a certificate, and this is what we actually want to change, because it's been bad habit, like to do volunteering for a certificate. It's not what it's intended to be. But we don't blame volunteers, not at all. This is maybe what universities or job places, positions, companies have required from them.
So is it easier to find a job if you have a volunteering experience?
It is, from my own experience, because we have been working, like, let's pretend, in not company but organization for a volunteering basis. And once, twice you're going there, and the organizers, HR managers, marketing specialists, from my own experience, I would say, they see you, your activeness, your readiness to do everything, and one day they just invite you for working for a position. Of course, I have met a lot of cases when they just invite me for a full-time position, and when you're a student, it's very hard to combine studies and work together. That's why from many times to time, I would say, I just reject those opportunities, because in Armenia, the education system is very strict, and we do have a stereotype to have a full degree, but not only bachelor's, also master degree. Now I'm doing my bachelor's, actually, third year, and we're having 4 years of bachelor's, and it's mandatory. Like, if you do not have a diploma, it's a shame for your family, for your community, and for getting a job, actually. But the diploma itself doesn't give anything, because the employers nowadays, they look more to your skills. They put in importance to your personality, not your diploma. Because if you do not know English, other languages as Russian or French or Spanish, because Armenians know these languages.
Okay, so you said you're founder of a startup. Can you tell us what is it about, and also about the organization? How do you become part of it? What is its purpose, and also do you have to be part of some organizations to do volunteering?
It's been 2 months we have launched our startup. We call it startup because being a startup in Armenia now, we are developing IT and technology fields in our country, and we're having a lot of incubators. Now we do have a lot of chances to grow in terms of financial support or office support or any kind of mentorship support from incubators. Like even universities have their own incubators, and they can host startups for, I don't know for concrete dates, but up to 2 months or some weeks. And you can have your own office space to work and assistance, mentorship to grow your own business. Yes, volunteer means about connecting volunteers and NGOs, non-governmental organizations or non-profits, and companies. We have been focusing on volunteers mainly because we have had an assumption that volunteers are searching for volunteering opportunities and it takes a lot of time from them. But after coming here, after interviewing some people and volunteers here, and organizations mainly, I will talk about it later on, we have found out that it's not the way that we have been thinking. Actually, it takes like up to like a day to apply and get a reply for a volunteering experience opportunity. And in Armenia, everyone knows everyone. Every volunteer knows every organization, so there is no need to connect them. But there is a need for some college students, pupils who haven't done any volunteering. Maybe we focus more on those people, those volunteers and enthusiasts. Then the other scope of our activity is to connect companies and NGOs, because as long as we have been doing research on this field, companies and NGOs, non-profits or corporates, are doing the same thing in the terms of environmental, let's pretend. They're going and cleaning some places, and they're increasing social, corporate social responsibility of them, but they're doing it separately. We want to merge their activities and to make the impact bigger, huge, bigger, and we want to establish the culture of cooperating. That's what it's unique in our startup, because startup needs to be a unique thing. That it needs to have a new thing. You do not need to invent a new wheel. That's why. And about organizations, coming back to your question, like when I was 15-year-old girl, I found a very good and big non-governmental organization in Armenia. It's called Federation of Youth Clubs of Armenia, the biggest one, the oldest one, established and launched in Armenia. It's I just go. I went to one of their events and became a member. Just nothing was required from me. I met very good friends there, volunteers from abroad.
What is like to be a volunteer in Armenia in comparison with volunteering here in Macedonia?
I will say for sure that there is a lack of volunteering atmosphere or motivation here. As long as we have met some few people, very few people who are interested in. Like this office, it was like we found and contacted maybe more than 20 organizations and companies, and maybe the best one have replied us, and now we are very glad to be here and feel that yeah, at least you do have. But my assumption about volunteerism in Macedonia, maybe I expected more to see. We found a very good organization called VSC, Volunteer Center Skopje. And they helped us a lot, really. And I felt like in my home, like I felt in the first organization that I've been volunteering in the Federation of Youth Clubs of Armenia, and we interviewed mainly international volunteers. You know, like I wanted to know much more from local volunteers, like Macedonian volunteers. And this is in comparison with Armenia and Macedonia. Like the active youth life in Macedonia, maybe a bit lacks. I know it's connected with some assumptions towards NGOs, because they believe that NGOs are doing bad things or they're corrupted, money launderings, or I don't know what. A few years ago, it was the same in Armenia. Why I'm saying a few years ago, because we are having about like 300 or 400, even more NGOs in Armenia, and they are focusing not only on youth, but also corruption, also women's rights, human rights, everything. But no one was believing in them, because they didn't have any reports, transparency, how they're working, and no one knew about that. Like no one knew that this kind of name exists, actually. But nowadays, I don't want to go deep into politics, but a year ago we have had a revolution in Armenia, and we have changed totally, starting from ourselves to parliament, to political situation, to vice president and president. And we have chosen one journalist from Republic Square. Yes, you can believe it, because about like 20,000 people in Republic Square decided to make a step and to be the change. Yeah, I'm talking too emotional, but a year ago, no one believed in that, because we wanted some changes.
And when you mention corruption, is the government raising corruption awareness?
I feel that campaigns, some decisions, some attitude towards tax system, towards corruption has been changed, of course. And you cannot be hired with money, or you cannot go to the university and get a diploma with money. Nowadays, there are some cases, of course. You cannot get rid of them in 1 year. It takes a lot of time. You need to be patient. But our, not grandmothers, but even parents or fathers, mothers, they want the change to become very quick. But peers like me, we are ready to wait. We are ready to wait for a change. State universities are the most corrupted ones. My university is a private one. And I agreed to pay much, but to get a quality education. And no one was tackling how educational system was going on and how students were getting a diploma, because everything was getting a diploma with the money. But my university doesn't do so. Students now are free to choose whatever university they want, because they should have the right to compete for their place, to get free education, because education is a public good, and students should know their rights.
Okay, and for the end, what is your message to the people here in North Macedonia, and especially to the students? Why should they start volunteer, and why is it important?
My message to you is to be brave, not to be afraid of taking risks, taking steps, because it's a life-changing experience, you know? Not only volunteering, just a step, just to make a step in your family, just I don't know what made me do volunteering, especially. I don't remember that time, but now it's my passion. Like every time they're asking, my friends are asking to make a CV, it's volunteering for me, even that. Because I do not get any certificate for that. It's just the will to be a good person, to change your attitude towards people. It's just maybe I'm a kind-hearted person, I don't know. Just you need to love people a lot and feel motivated every time, because there are too many opportunities. I know the economic system crisis here, everything, because the same is in Armenia, and as a student, of course, we need some we need to earn money for our own expenses, not to be addicted to our parents. I don't say that I haven't. I have worked in many places for money, but firstly, I was focused on my personal development. If people think so, they will do volunteering more. And they will say, I have done volunteering for this amount of time, and then I have work, because work is a good thing, I'm not saying it, but volunteering is just for you to make you pleased, not your employer pleased.
Okay, so thank you for your time, Nancy, and thank you for watching.